vulnerable families become homeless. High housing costs leave low-income families with little left over for other important expenses. Affordable housing increases the amount that families can put towards other important household needs and savings for the future. That is why on this program I preach affordable and accessible housing for all, especially the low-income earners. I am your housing diva, Flora Annie. Welcome to another eye-opening episode of Housing Development. The news making rounds in the sector is up next.
The Minister of State for Works and Housing, Moazu Jaji Sambo, has said the use of incompetent artisans in the real estate sector is among the factors leading to building collapse in the country. The minister, in a statement by the Director of Press and Public Relations of the Ministry, Boade Akinola, during a visit by members of the Construction Skills Training and Empowerment Project, CSTEMP, described the construction industry as a large employer of labor that would employ more Nigerians if the requisite skills are learnt, stating that one of the reasons for building collapse in this country is attributable to the prevalence of the use of unskilled artisans. He praised the effort of System in coming up with an initiative to fill what he described as a huge gap in the built environment and pledged to support them. As Lagos seeks Supreme Court's judgment interpretation, there appears to be no hope in the sight for the Shangisha Landlords Association in their attempt to get their properties back, as Lagos State government has sought further directives and clarifications from the Supreme Court's judgment. The landlords, worried by the government's inertia in returning 549 plots of lands allegedly taken from them in the Magodo area, had approached the court to seek redress both at the State High Court, the Court of Appeal, and at the Supreme Court, where the state further appealed and judgment subsequently awarded in their favor in 2012. The association has also petitioned President Muhammadu Buhari on the matter. According to them, the discontinuation of the settlement process indefinitely by the Lagos State government is nothing but an attempt to legitimize corruption, urging the president to call the Lagos State government to order to avoid any deceitful action. Vice President Yemi Oshibajo has said that the federal government is focusing on a new vision for strengthening infrastructural development, especially with rapid urbanization, pressure on cities, and the difficulties of allocating scarce resources faced by governments at all levels. Oshibajo stated this in Bayelsa at the construction flag-off of the Angiama Okporoma Bridge on the Yenagwa Okporoma Ukubie Road recently. According to him, the Niger Delta communities such as Okporoma, Angiama, where the bridge is now being constructed, and others across the region are home to vast amounts of mineral wealth and natural resources, so they deserve to have considerable development gains to show for it. As part of the new vision, the federal government will collaborate with state governments to strengthen efforts at ensuring the wholesome development of communities across the country.
For more housing, finance, and construction news, do well to visit www.africahousingnews.com. Now, how long does it take for NMRC to refinance mortgages, and what challenges do they encounter in the course of delivery on their mandates? Let's find out.
I'll say for us at NMRC, if everything is in place, all our expectations are met, we'll refinance within 48 hours. Money will leave our desk to the bank within 48 hours. If all the T's and if all the T's have been crossed and the I's have been dotted. We're very fast at processing. Time is money. the longer we delay them in getting the funds, the more expensive it becomes for the ultimate beneficiary, which is the mortgagor. So as an institution, we send out money quickly. But the biggest challenge for the sector is the cost of financing. Mortgages will only thrive in an environment where rates are 10 or below. So we have to address the macro issues such that we're able to go to the market and borrow money at substantially below 10% interest rate. Because affordability is a function of how much the person has and how much the person is going to pay and what does the house cost. So I think the biggest challenge that we have, in the industry, not just NMRC, but the biggest challenge even for NMRC is the cost of funding. All the pension funds, when they look at us and look at what we are doing, they don't see any difference between us, who is doing a very laudable job of trying to provide housing for our people, and just putting their money in government bonds, which will give them substantial rates. So except rates come down significantly, that's when we'll have that luxury of saying that, yes, we're almost at El Dorado. So rate is the biggest challenge, followed also by the challenges with passing the model mortgage and foreclosure law by all the states and putting in place the systems and processes to ensure quick, cheap, and efficient registration and transfer of titles. So I think if we can solve the biggest one, which is the interest rate, that's a macro thing. We can only try, we can't do anything about that. So it's something that the government can work on, And then, but I think the one on the legal documentation, the legal foundation, that can be done by the state governments and even the federal government. So if we can solve those twin problems, I think everyone on this platform will be happy, because things will start happening at a very much more rapid rate than we can ever imagine.
Welcome back. The program is Housing Development. Paying the rent for a decent home is not just a challenge for low-income families, as housing affordability increasingly creates stress on middle-income families. While we talk of housing affordability, we still emphasize on decent housing. The capital city, Abuja, is a city of many different parts. Which area in Abuja would you never want to live in? Let's find out the opinion of some Abuja residents on Voices on the Streets.
Okay, I currently stay at Nyanya, and in my next world, I don't want to stay there because of the traffic. When I come to town every day, when I'm about to go home, I will start thinking about the fact that, I'll have to face traffic because of people living at Nasarawa and all of that. So at any point in time, I will not want to live there anymore.
The way Abuja is structured, outside the center, which is a municipal, other suburbs, they don't really have a good setting for human habitation, especially in Nyanya. The road network, there is just one road to the town, and the traffic jam is so much intimidating. At times, a trailer will be in the queue with small cars, highly inflammable loaded tanker, and it's not healthy. A lot of accidents towards Kubo, and some people feel there is a demon living out there, but to me, it's a land topography and lack of management of trucks, heavy trucks, drunk drivers, accompanying small cars. So Nyanya area, I don't want to live there.
The area I would never like to stay. Area like Kuba, because it's a bit far from my working place. I don't like staying far from where I work. And again, due to the express road there, I'm the type that one of my peers is moving vehicles. So I don't like staying in a place where I find it very difficult to access a movable vehicle before coming to the working place. That is why.
Inside the Kuje area, there's this part in Kubwa, they drink Buhari area council, and those in Tape side, there are very many, just almost the surrounding areas. It appears that they have, this government, in fact, they don't live within the vicinity of this federal capital territory.
I will never want to live in Maraba because of the hold-up and the thief around that area. There is no way you can drive around. A lot of people testify to it that takes at the cost of them receiving call inside the vehicle, their phone being snatched off from their hands. So because of that, I have this little fright concerning thieves. So, and anything thieves in nature, I don't like that, because your family can be kept out and your property can be given. Your hard-earned money, you cannot have access to it just due to the thieves. So Maraba is a kind of a dead zone that I don't like to deal with.
I would never want to live in Maraba because of the hold-up. The hold-up is too much, and I don't think is what the stress and stuff like that.
There are a whole lot of bad areas in Abuja. I've seen some, but the place I would not like to stay is that Asokoro village, because there is a place worse than that. But why don't you stay that place? You don't have water, the road are bad, and it's really terrible. They should just have to remove the Asokoro there, maybe call it P village.
I would like to live in Gwagwalada area. Due to there's always traffic problem in those areas. I would like to live in such an area.
AIHSCO Forum is here again. Are you a chief executive officer of your organization? Then here is an opportunity for you to benefit from a networking platform with top decision makers, identify new business opportunities with the world's most influential business leaders, learn from world-class consultants on how to navigate your company's greatest challenges.
Housing is considered affordable when it costs less than 40% of household income.
Affordable housing should not only be restricted to residential homes. Let us help the students to have decent hostel accommodation. Let's help the teachers to have decent homes they can live in.
AIHSCO Forum provides a platform for the highest ranking executives of real estate, mortgage and banking, chief executive officers and their executive management teams, as well as industry thought leaders who will meet and exchange perspectives on the real estate and housing finance industry's most pressing issues.
For the industry to thrive, interest rate must be reasonable. Because, as I said, it affects both the cost of the housing and then also the cost of the mortgages.
It will also provide an opportunity for chief executives to discuss ways that they, as leaders in the real estate community, can engage meaningfully with government officials and international investors. Register now at www.ihsabuja.com. The CEO's Forum, connecting leaders in real estate, mortgage, and banking.
Voices on the street there, where I heard places like Kubwa, Gwagwalada, Pape, Asokoro village, Nanya, and some even mentioned Mararaba. Well, Mararaba is a town in Nasarawa State, central Nigeria. It is a district of the Karo local government area. It is definitely different strokes for different folks. Let's go for a short break. I'll be back.
Al-Shafa, the Chief Executive of Federal Housing Authority. Keep watching Housing Program.
Welcome back. The groundbreaking ceremony of Oakville's homes developed by Greenland Concepts Nigeria Limited was held recently. Housing Development Crew covered the groundbreaking ceremony. Let's have a look.
It was an event of glamour in Penach, witnessing the groundbreaking ceremony of Oakville Homes under the development of Greenland Concepts Nigeria Limited in Kurakwe district of Karishi, Nasarawa State. The MD and CEO, Mrs. Kemi Olomola Shijuade, could not contain her joy as the project will add to solving the housing deficit currently ravaging the country. According to her, the construction of Oakville Homes will house 20 units of 3-bedroom bungalows in an eco-friendly environment for comfortability.
The project Oakville Homes is a 20-unit, 3-bedroom bungalows designed to be a small community where people can actually bond together. We have 2 types, 3-bedroom without boys' quarter, and we have the one that is with boys' quarter.
With the event having in attendance the president of the Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, REDEN, Alhaji Aliyu Wamako, he applauded the Greenland Concept Nigeria Limited for their contributions in developing the housing sector and called on the federal government to concentrate funding for housing development on the private sectors and not just contractors.
Government at all levels, they budgeted for housing to its citizens. And based on that one, I think the private sector should be involved in this aspect. All what we are talking about as private sector is we need money at a single-digit interest, and that will enable us to provide affordable housing for the people. Instead of government to budget this money and give it to contractors, the government shall budget the money and put it into the private sector.
Following goodwill messages by the MD and CEO of the Family Homes Funds Limited, Mr. Femi Adewale, he noted the celebration of resilience of the management of the Greenland Concept carrying on such a project, pointing out the clarity of the vision in terms of quality housing delivery. He stressed the economic importance of the project as this will provide employment opportunities to the unemployed in the society.
The resilience of the managing director birthing a vision for a project like this. It's easy to think that it's a work in the park, but I know the amount of agonies, the amount of getting people to do the right thing, the amount of poring over drawings that has gone into getting this project to where it is today, and I think we celebrate that. That is what we need.
At the event, Festus Adebayo, the president of Housing Development Advocacy Network, HDAN, also made a call on the government to support women who are delving into the housing sector for affordable housing delivery.
I would like to use today to call on the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to provide special support for women who are into affordable housing delivery. Promoting housing is my core area. This is what I've chosen as my ministry. And I found that so many men are involved in this business. For us to encourage women into affordable housing delivery.
Climax of the event was the groundbreaking ceremony led by the chairman of the event and president of the Real Estate Developers Association, Alhaji Aliyu Wamako, after which building of the Oakville Homes can begin.
Welcome back. Also coming up next is Brains and Hammers Bungalow City.
Over the time, we have built expertise and reputations. And as part of our contribution to contribute to reducing the housing deficit in Nigeria, we feel by building cities, affordable housing will actually help Nigerians to actually secure houses that are standard, that are green, that can also make them feel or have the taste of Brains and Hammers.
Payment plan, your initial payment of 20%, that makes you to have a contract with us. The next installment is after 3 months. You can pay your 30%. So within that 1 year, you're making up your 100%.
Every time I go to site, I feel happy because I see we're creating employment in thousands, not just in small numbers. From the market women handling food, to suppliers on site, to the block industries, to the artisans. These are all people that you see in thousands. When you go to Bungalow City, I look around and I feel good. I know that this is part of the things that we want to do. We want to empower people, we want to train people, and we are doing that. In terms of houses, we've built 10,000 houses so far, and we plan to build 25,000 houses. So you can see we are working with organizations to reduce the housing deficit in Nigeria, also helping civil servants to secure houses, secure their future, secure their family. That's what we are doing.
Housing show is important to us because the budget market is good for our plaster of Paris and plasterboard market, and for us what the intention of being here is to just expose the company to as many people as we can.
The role it plays for our business and how we've experienced its impact is why we've come again and again and again.
It's an opportunity for us to meet prospective clients and also advise people on housing and tell them about our product.
For us, it was a success. Extremely happy to be here. Extremely happy about the agenda. It's centric on affordable housing.
It's a platform for us to share ideas. It's a platform for us to take something back home. So basically, it's a good platform for the housing industry.
This is not our first time. We have been part of this program since 2012, and it has been so amazing.
No, we've been at Abuja International Housing Show from the beginning. So this is 15 years, and so we've been partners in this, yes.
Brought a lot of exposure to the company. I want to appreciate the Abuja Housing Show and want to tell you guys to continue doing what you're doing.
The good thing is the partnership that the Abuja International Housing Show helps to create. It what makes all of this sensible.
Abuja International Housing Show is a networking event basically for me, where people from different fields in the construction and building industry can come around and meet each other, network.
Events like this will actually go a long way in ensuring that the gap is bridged, and that will really go a long way to also help economic development.
water and housing development. That is it on today's episode of Housing Development. I've got to get going, but be sure there is always more on housing development. So keep a date, same time. Until then, stay safe. I remain Flora Ani, your housing diva.